everyone, welcome back to the first in Weasels over Syria campaign for the F-16 and DCS world, and welcome to mission 4, Overwatch. And so this mission we're operating in the same area as we have the last two times, but with a very different objective. This time Intel has it that a high-level meeting of the SIA is going to take place within a villa, and the idea is to send in a special forces team to go in, arrest as many people as possible, take as much intel as possible, and get out of there. And our job for this is going to be providing Overwatch, with the big issue that there is a garrison down to the south of the villa where the meeting will be taking place, and that garrison does have AAA, and so we're going to go in to suppress the AAA, get rid of it, get rid of the SAMs on site. We know the locations through satellite photos, so we know where we're going. And then afterwards, Apaches will come in and suppress the ground forces at the garrison, while the special forces move into the villa. We meanwhile will remain overhead, and then my wingman does have a special 2,000-pound bomb to completely obliterate the villa afterwards, to destroy all evidence that we actually took intel from the site and make it just look like an airstrike. So, pretty fun setup, let's jump into it.
Sentinel, Sword 2-1 airborne and pushing on mission 0618. Request words.
Sword 2-1 Sentinel, clear to proceed as Fred. Be advised with an aircraft approaching surface target approximately 20 miles west of your flight plan of waypoint 3.
Copy all, Sentinel. Sword 2 out. Okay, 2, let's push on. Sentinel is reporting Russian activity ahead, so keep sharp, make sure we stay clear.
See that, Forrest? What do you think the Russians are hitting all the way out here? There's no SDS in the southeast.
Not sure, Bug, but if I had to guess, I'd go with the SIA.
It is, that's pretty concerning. We're supposed to be driving them back, and instead they might be advancing.
Agreed. If I'm right, it's concerning, but not our problem right now.
Copy, Forrest.
Bug, do you need a last review of the mission details?
Negative, lead, I'm good. Should be pretty cool to see those Apaches in action, though.
Well, don't get distracted. We're not here to watch fireworks. Remember, we've got a job to do.
Copy, lead, I hear you. I'm just glad that those clouds finally cleared. Should make it a lot safer to locate the targets.
Agreed. Nice to finally be out of the weather. Means we should be able to sit high above the target out of range of that SA-9. With only smaller AAA down there, we should be untouchable.
Let's just hope that there's no SA-8s or 6s hiding down there. Especially since we dropped the ECM and HTS pods.
Intel is absolutely certain there's not. No ELINT, no SIGINT, no reports from Intel assets on the ground, nothing spotted from above. We're certain as we can be. Just keep clear of the oil fields. Might be a different story over there.
In that case, if it's just some light AAA and an SA-9 depending down there, it should be easy enough for us to deal with. On the other hand, if I was on those helos down there, I would not want to be going in during the day.
Same here. They didn't sound too thrilled by the idea. But that's the way the chips fall sometimes, and why they're getting a heavy escort.
Shame we can't just drop a 2,000-pounder straight on their heads. No fuss.
Come on, Bug. You understand better than that. Might be valuable intel in that meeting.
I just don't get why they don't hold the meeting in a garrison location. Surely that's more secure.
More obvious, too. Probably worried about someone like you putting a bomb through the roof. Less obvious location is less secure, but less likely to be identified and bombed.
And how's that working out for him? I got some smoke to the northwest. Must be the Russians.
Copy 2. Keep a lookout. Don't want to accidentally run into any Russian aircraft. Okay, 2. We're 50 miles out from the IP. Push your uniform to Gold 1.
Sword 2-2 set.
Whiplash 6, Sword 2-1. 50 miles from target. Any new words?
Sword 2-1, Weasels 6. Copy your last mission is a go. Proceed as brief.
Copy. Sword 2-1 is proceeding. Bug, 25 miles to IP. Bends in.
Sword 2-2.
So the intel briefs on this one were really quite detailed, so we know exactly where the air defences are around the garrison and what they are. My priority is an SA-9 site just a little to the north of the garrison, and then there are 2 ZU-23 AAAs dotted around it. Now, I did have to try this mission a few times, nothing wrong with the mission, just me screwing up one way or another, either with the Maverick controls or with me just not being great at this module yet. So I do sort of know what's going on this attempt. One thing that messed me up early on is the ZU-23s really don't have that much at all of a heat signature. They are really, really cold, and so the IR Mavericks I have just don't want to lock onto them at all. And so instead here I am saving my laser guided bombs for those, and I am trying to get a lock with the laser Maverick on the SA-9. Now the issue here is the laser Mavericks don't have great resolution, so even with the field of view narrowed I'm having a hard job spotting it, but do at least know the general area I'm going for. I'm going to need to get closer, and as I do close on the enemy, my character gives out a final call.
Whiplash 6, Sword 2-1 approaching IP. Commencing attack.
Copy, Sword 2-1. We are holding position south of the target. We have 15 miles endurance before go, no-go decision.
Copy. Sword 2-1 out. Sword 2-2, we're approaching the IP. We've got 15 minutes to acquire and destroy targets. I want you to set up an orbit at the IP and hold high cover. Angels 2-5.
Copy, lead 2 is cover.
So just make out the lighter spot of the SA-9.
Sword 2-1 rifle.
Managed to rifle that away in a bit of a dive, just because I needed to get close enough but still high enough altitude not to get hit, and turn away and just let the Maverick do its thing. And flip the aircraft onto autopilot so I can watch this go in, get a really nice view of the back end of the Maverick as it heads straight on in.
Kill, SA-9.
So that is the major air threat there, but we still have the 23s on the back of trucks. And so I know where they are again. It was in the intel briefing, and I have done this a couple of times, so easily find it. This is a lot easier to see with the targeting pod on TV camera as opposed to either of the IR filters, just because the truck really isn't very hot. Its tyres even are a little bit warm. The gunner on the 23 is a little bit warm, but that's about it. Do get it identified here, get it locked up, and then decide to head in for my laser guided bomb. Now I mess up my first pass just because I didn't give myself enough range, but head back in, press and hold weapon release, and then that is 1 away. Immediately start lasering the target so the bomb has plenty of time to direct itself correctly. It's just a case of making sure the targeting pod keeps watching this target until eventually... shack.
Kill, AAA, north of garrison.
The final target is just a little bit to the southeast of the garrison in a little field in the garrison's back garden. Again, really, really low heat signature, so using the TV mode on the targeting pod and not trying to use my Mavericks. I've lost a little bit of altitude here, but still at 15,000 feet, so well safe of MANPAADs and return fire from these, and so it's just a case of lining up and then dropping our ordnance. And again, immediately start lasing the target to make sure that the bomb falls in as accurately as it can. And once again, just keep an eye on the targeting pod, continue to lase and wait for the bomb to go down. And again, nice shack there.
Kill, AAA, southeast of garrison.
Whiplash 6, Sword 2-1.
Sword 2-1, go.
Whiplash, all threats destroyed. You're clear to the target.
Copy, Sword 2-1, we are inbound now. Full mic. Angel, push to target. Fury, begin your attack. Angel 1, copy. Fury 1-1, we'll go.
Now, from a previous attempt where I had messed up a bit here, I know that there is another little surprise waiting for us that I try but don't manage to find here. But soon enough we do get alerted about it.
Pop-up threat. AAA west of waypoint 5. Across the river. Stand by for coordinates. ZU-57, location. North 3510.728. East 0402.3.397. Elevation 620. It's definitely a threat to the assault team.
Copy, Bug. Stand by.
Now, the previous time I'd attempted this, I did mess up at this point. I did something wrong with editing the waypoint, so it didn't actually go through. I'm not sure if I just missed an enter. I think I may have had the wrong steer point selected. Either way, I didn't manage it. This time I enter the correct steer point, everything is fine, but what I forgot to do is re-zero the targeting pod. The targeting pod remembers where it was in relation to the steer point, is the way it works on the F-16, and so editing the steer point does edit its position, but it's still that same certain number of meters to the northwest. So I don't manage to find it here, but the game does give me the option to use my wingman, and so I just call him in. Since again, knowing from the last time that this is very, very time sensitive here, this AAA will absolutely eat the helicopters if they get within range.
Bug, kill that ZU-57.
Copy, lead 2, engaging ZU-57. Approaching LZ, Whiplash, stand by. Whiplash on the deck, moving on target. Alright, ZU-57 is down.
So it did take my wingman quite a while to actually get his shot off there, but I think the campaign devs have done a really clever job at sorting that out, because the helicopters went in and landed okay. Last time they would have been destroyed at this point, so I think the campaign devs have been really good and put in a little catch there that if the AI is messing up, the AAA does get disabled as long as you've given the order, which is a really nice quality of life feature to handle the AI in DCS sometimes being a little bit iffy. By the way, that is the ZU down, and the helicopters are now landing, the assault is going in.
Whiplash breaching. Building is secure, securing intel. Angel, stand by for instruction. 5 mics. Copy. Standing by. Lead, new threat. Tally on a MANPAAD team setting up close to where that 57 was. Stand by for pause. MANPAAD at north 3510.693. East 0402.3.937. Elevation 605.
Copy, Bug. We'll handle it.
And this time when I enter the coordinates, I do this time remember to re-zero, and so this time it does work. And I do get a nice view of these 3 very unlucky chaps standing outside of their truck. And although it's hard to get a Maverick lock on the people, the truck is nice and warm and is a decent beacon. So after a little bit of messing around, I do finally manage to get the Maverick lock. It is quite a high angle shot, but the Maverick comes away.
Sword 2-1 rifle.
Now I'm quite low and quite close to these guys, so I don't risk going into third person. I just keep an eye on them on the targeting pod, finger hovering over countermeasures just in case one of these guys tries to get a cheeky MANPAAD off at me. But then, as I watch, the missile comes in.
Alright, MANPAAD team is wasted. Angels, Whiplash is expressing. Copy, Angel inbound.
And then I am completely Winchester at that point, so I just put my plane into a auto circle at about 15,000 feet. My wingman does still have ammunition if we need it, but I just sit here on the third person and watch the Black Hawks come in and pick up the teams, which I'm really glad I did, because then I got to witness this bug.
Let's go. Angels securing the RTB. Stock 2-1, 1 flew away. You are clear to blow the target. Whiplash out.
Bug, take the villa out as fragged.
Copy. 2 engaging.
So I do get a optional objective coming up that I can drop the garrison, but I don't have any more ordnance. I did misunderstand something in the mission briefing. I didn't really understand how many Mavericks my wingman has. He actually has 3, so I could have been using him far more often than I did. I decided to hold him in back just in case I needed him. Turns out if I'd let him do a little bit more, then I would have had a little more ordnance that I could have dropped to get that garrison and the final check mark on the mission. Now I do run into a tiny bit of difficulty here in that I am waiting around for my wingman to actually say that he's dropped his bombs before ordering RTB. I don't know if he's meant to and it's just bugged out a bit. Either way, when I do finally give up and order RTB, that does trigger a backup script that does drop the base.
Bug, lead, time to depart. We are RTB.
Copy, lead. Right behind you. Jack, villa destroyed.
So yeah, one thing I am actually really impressed with this campaign is its ability to catch and avoid errors. I don't know if that was just scripted all along, that it's supposed to be when you order RTB that he does. For all his other drops, he has actually been dropping munitions, so it may have been a bug, but it's a bug that the campaign absolutely works around, and that is really, really good to see. I know it takes a huge amount of effort to put in those kind of catches when scripting and AI go wrong, but it's really nice to see a campaign dev putting in that effort to make a campaign that is still playable completely, even when DCS decides to be DCS and does its odd things like not dropping bombs or putting a helicopter under the ground. Otherwise, all that was left for us was to RTB.
Sentinel, Sword 2 is off mission and RTB.
Copy, Sword 2. Clear to proceed, Angel 2-5. Listen forces are still operating west of your route, so make sure you keep clear.
Copy all Sentinel, Sword 2-1 out.
Sword 2-1, Whiplash 6.
Whiplash 6, Sword 2-1 receiving.
Alright, Sword 2. Just wanted to send you fly boys out, thanks. Well, with some pretty hostile airspace, we just flew into them. We couldn't have done it without you. Please report a very successful mission on our end.
No problem, Whiplash. Just doing our job.
Well, we sure appreciate it. Look us up back on base tonight, and we'll be sure to thank you in person.
Copy that, Whiplash. Sword 2 out.
Sounds like those boys got the job done.
Yeah, good job all around today.
Man, those Apaches really tore that garrison up. I love that bird.
It's impressive, alright, but still, not sure I'd want to be down there that low and slow.
Better than in a Black Hawk, or worse, on foot.
Those Whiplash guys look tough, alright. Seen them around the base. They're pretty intimidating.
Yeah, they gotta be Delta, right?
Yeah, for sure. Worst kept secret out there.
Drop 2-1, Sentinel.
Sentinel, Sword 2-1.
Don't you be advised, the Syrians have made multiple incursions in a no-fly Sierra, and we have missiles in the air. Remain vigilant in your sector.
Copy, Sentinel. What's our picture?
Magic is tracking 2 new groups in the air within the Syrian border in your sector. Positive total 145 for 150. No indications of doing anything patrolling at this time.
Copy, Sentinel. Sort out.
Damn. Sounds like they finally jumped the fence.
Sounds like it. Things are about to get more serious, I think.
Yeah, no doubt.
Keep your head on a swivel, Bug. Doubt they'll be looking for trouble down here, but let's not get complacent.
Sword 2-2.
Yeah, all in all, a really, really fun mission, and I do apologise for this landing. It was absolutely awful. I should have gone around, but I was rather tired at that point. So all in all, Blue scored 19 kills during that. The only losses we took was some blue-on-blue AI issues. I think some helicopters collided early on, and 2 of the Blackhawks went down to other blue helicopters. But otherwise, really successful mission. Not quite 100% on the score again, because I didn't quite get that garrison at the end, just because I didn't save any munitions for it. But otherwise, good mission, definitely a challenging mission, trying to get all of the targets with quite a lot of time constraints there. But definitely enjoyable, and a good, interesting build-up in the story there that the Syrians are definitely being an issue, so no doubt we'll have some targets in there soon. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope to catch you in the next video. Until then, remember to be kind to yourselves and everyone else. Cheers.